to have each and every one of you here join us because it fills my heart with joy to see people seeking tech knowledge. And I'm just one of you here also looking forward to this exciting journey. So at this point, I would like to introduce to us our mentor or our tutor for this bootcamp. Yeah. So he's going to be telling us more about the bootcamp. Yeah, and then this is basically the introductory session. So at the end we are going to have questions and answers. So allow me to introduce to you Muhyiddin Abdul Samad, who is a certified cybersecurity expert. So I'll allow him talk for himself. So Abdul Samad, the floor is all yours. Samad, are you there? All right. So
Hello, everyone.
I think Abdul Samad is trying to set up his slide and all,
Hello,
right?
everyone.
Okay, yeah. Abdul Samad, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the little bit delay. I'm just having some technical issues here, but well, I can see that you guys have been catching up so far. So once more, my name is Moedin Abdul Samad, and I will be your mentor for this program. I just want to ask, can everyone see this slide? Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Yes, we can see it.
Oh,
we can.
all right. That's great. That's great. So once again, welcome to Cybersecurity Workshop, and I am hoping that we are all going to achieve one thing or the other from this. So basically, our agenda is, first of all, I will introduce you guys to cybersecurity and the general basics about it. Then also cybersecurity practice and tools, network security, incident and response, including cybersecurity careers. So within these 4 days, these are the set of things that we are going to cover. But I want you to know that I think maybe today will be the only day whereby we'll be having more of theories and less practical one way or the other. So I just want us to have a general understanding because I believe that not everyone here is a tech expert for now, and I believe that not everyone here has knowledge on cybersecurity. So I would just assume that, so we can all move along. So I hope you guys are in agreement with that.
Yes, sir. One little observation, sir. I think your mic is a little bit low, so if you can please pick up or move closer to your mic so that we can hear you more. Thanks.
Okay. So can you guys hear me more now?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
all right, that's wonderful. So I
Yes,
said that
yes, we can hear you.
the agenda will be covering this whole topic within the 4 days. That's starting with the introduction, which we are going to do today. And then I think tomorrow, by the grace of God, we'll be going to cybersecurity practice and tools. And then the third day, we'll be having network security. And fourth day, we'll be having incident response and cybersecurity carriers. And also, discussing more and other interesting things that we would have learned so far. So I welcome you guys all again. So basically, I want to introduce you guys to the team. So we have our president who has actually introduced himself. As you can see, Mohammed Sadis Rabiu, and then vice president, which is Sheriff Saeed. We have Kamal also, who is our general secretary, Jafar Idris, who is our technical director, and you have me, Abdusamad Muidin, project manager of STEM Coders. Then we have our public relations officer, who is Mariam Suleiman Aliyu, and then Hawa Idris, who is our financial secretary. So that's a little bit about them. Let's focus more on me now. So basically, just like I told you guys, my name is Muhyiddin Abdulsamad Teniola. I am a 500 level student studying metallurgical and materials engineering here at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. I hold a certification in cybersecurity and also software engineering. So I specialize in Java programming, web development, and the like. So, with that being done, let's come into the main thing. Yeah, actually, I can see my background with the whole anonymous stuff. So, I'm very sure most of you are familiar with what anonymous or the name anonymous, what it means, right? Or who they are, right? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, great, great. So, basically, I know that most of us or some of us will have known what cybersecurity is or have an idea about what cybersecurity is. But I would just like to, give a little recap on what cybersecurity is. So, just like it is stated right here, cybersecurity involves safeguarding systems, network, programs from digital attacks, aiming to protect information and ensure the secure functioning of digital assets. So that's just the basics. That this is just like a summary of everything or whatever it is you might decide that okay you want to do in cybersecurity or you might want to explain to someone. I think this like a basic overview of everything. You understand? And I believe that one way or the other we might have practiced cybersecurity in our day-to-day life. By protecting ourselves against cyber criminals trying to safeguard our password one way or the other, we have all practiced cybersecurity. But sometimes you might not know what you're doing, except someone try to enlighten you about it and try to make you understand that okay, this is what you're doing, and I think this is what it is the practice, or this is it. You get what I'm saying? And then we have what we call threats and vulnerabilities, which are like the house, or will I say the interiors of cybersecurity. So basically, threat refers to potential dangers or malicious entities that exploit vulnerability and vulnerabilities are weakness in systems that may be exploited by threat. So now let me break down what this means generally. So let's say for example now we have a Windows, let's say a Windows 10 system. Your system, let's imagine, which I'm very very sure a lot of us are guilty about. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe me sometimes, but I'm not too sure about that. You see, one of the most important thing I know that I can tell you this, if you guys will agree with me, sometimes when you connect your data, you complain that your system is like sucking your data and all that. Am I right? Is there anyone here that has experienced that before? Oh, great, great. I can see Isam Mubarak. Yeah, exactly. So, now let me explain one of the reason why that is. So, one of the reason why that is because sometimes if you're not frequent with, connecting your systems with the network, that I mean internet connection, of course, updating the systems and all that. So most times when your system get connected to the internet, one of the reasons why your data gets sucked is because it wants to update itself because let's say you have been using your system for like a year now and then you've not like tried to update it and all that. So there are what I say patches that has been created over the weeks, over the month, over the years, and then if your systems are not up to date, your system becomes vulnerable. You get Isa Mubarak, do you have a question? I can see you're raising your hand. Hello, Isa Mubarak, do you have a question? Okay, I don't know. Probably she could just um, turn off your hand to indicator. So as I was saying, uh, your Windows gets vulnerable when you don't update it over time. You understand? And from there, that's where vulnerability comes into place. And now, when your system becomes vulnerable, the next thing is threat. That's where threat comes into play. We can say like, okay, the threat comes in like you become vulnerable to attack, and now those attacks or those method by which your systems get um infected with virus and the likes. That's those virus now. Those are those threats. Those are those threats. That's what this is trying to explain by telling you to referring to potential dangers or malicious entities that exploit vulnerabilities. So like that's one. That's another aspect. And for those of you guys that frequently update your systems and try to make sure your system is up to date, kudos to you guys. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, sorry. Let me try and get. Sorry, just give me a minute. I think let me get my other mic. I think that will be better.
Yes, much better, sir.
Okay, that's wonderful. Sorry about that. I had to change the mic. So, basically, like I was saying, kudos to you guys who normally take out your time to update your system. I am telling you, that's like you being a cybersecurity engineer, like 50%, because basically, in cybersecurity, it's more of patch this, update that, patch this, update that, patch this, update that. It's just like iPhone users now, for example. I'm sure some of the iPhone users will be wondering why is it that most times in a month or sometimes you realize that iPhone can release an operating system update maybe like twice or thrice or something like that. It's basically they have their cybersecurity engineers that whose job is to hack the operating system, try to see what are the possible ways, what are the vulnerabilities that are present here. Although we will come to that later, but I think I should just say it now. We have for every organization they have their cybersecurity engineers that carry out operations before they tend to, like, let me say, simulate the actions of illegal hackers, because I believe we have both the good hackers and the bad hackers. They're like categorized into white and black generally, but in between we have the red, the blue, the green, and and the likes, and the gray and whatever. So basically that's for that. And then we have one of the major principles of cybersecurity, which is what we call the CIA triad. These are the three fundamental principles of information security. And what this talks about is the fact that the C stands for confidentiality, the I stand for integrity, and the A stand for availability. Just like it has been stated here, confidentiality ensures that information is only accessible to authorized individuals, preventing unauthorized access. So what all that is saying is, it's just like let's say you have an information whereby you do not want to let it out, or we like say it is only allowed to some few individuals. Now, the confidentiality of that information get exploited when it gets into the hands of a third party whose permission who to whom permission was not given. Come on, this English hard. So to whom permission was not given. So then we have integrity. So now the integrity here ensures the accuracy and trustworthiness of data by preventing unauthorized modification. So in this case, the integrity here, I don't know, I'm very sure some of us will have, let's say, one way or the other, try to get a game crack or a cracked version of a game or something like that, or of an app or something. So now in that kind of scenario, I must say the integrity of that application or the integrity of that game or whatever it is, as far as it has been cracked, it has lost in its integrity one way or the other. And I'm very sure most of us are guilty of that. I know that one is a very short thing. It's a short thing. Most of us are guilty of that, because I know definitely not all of us could afford to pay for those subscriptions and all that, which I'm very sure I'm right. So, and also availability. You ensure that the systems and data are consistently accessible to authorized users when needed. So, and I think this availability here, we can also say, is a little bit similar to the confidentiality. But in this case, the information should be available to only those that have been registered, that have access to that particular system, to that particular let's say information. Just imagine now, your school details and whatever it is you use to log into your portal. Imagine someone else is now sharing it with you, a total stranger that you do not even know about. You can see that there's a big problem. At that moment, you start to panic and you start to wonder what's going on. You get, so like basically these three things, the C, the I, and the A, are like the main fundamental principle of information security. Whatever you want to learn in information security revolves around these three things. You have to always put them at the back of your mind. You have to make sure that your information is confidential. You have to make sure that the integrity of your information has not been compromised, and you have to make sure that your information is available to the right source and the right group of people. So for now, before we move further, is there anyone that's a little bit confused with what I've said so far that might need clarity one way or the other? Any question? So, um, okay. So I believe there is none. So as we go on, we have a type of cybersecurity threat. We have the malwares, we have the phishing, we have the ransomware. So let's talk a little bit about this malwares, phishing, and ransomware. So basically, I am sure one way or the other, we might have seen one of these in action. I think if you have not experienced a malware attack, you might have experienced a phishing attack or even a ransomware attack. I could remember, I think 2 or 3 months ago, a friend of mine in Abuja was actually, um, a victim of ransomware. His files, the entire files were actually compromised, and then it was encrypted. Basically, let me break it down. Malwares are like these malicious viruses, malicious softwares that you introduce one way or the other, but either by your own hand or by a third party into your system and end up causing dangerous issues. And then phishing is like, let's say, I don't know if some of you have seen this video of whereby a lady is trying to give all this herbal medicine to her child, but then she now like pour it into all this Fafa Life rubber and something, and then give it to the child. He takes it thinking it's a Fafa Life juice, but instead it was actually the herbal medicine that is inside. On taking it, then the child find out that it's bitter. So like, that's what fishing is all about. So that's what fishing is. Now I'm sure most of us might have experienced fishing one way or the other. Let me bring up this scenario from cyber fraud that's most especially common with Facebook. Sometimes you receive a link that is similar to your Facebook link, and then on clicking it, it will show you a page to register your name and your password. On sending those information, I am telling you, you are giving your information out to an entire individual. You are not sending it to Mark Zuckerberg company, or this that kind of platform is what we call phishing. You get, it's something that, of course, I don't know. I think maybe later in the day, or maybe later during the workshop, I don't know, some days from now, I'll try to create a short phishing attack or a short phishing scenario where we can see how it is being done and how it is being carried out. Because I think if there is anything we need to take note of, is phishing. Sometimes it even happen. I think there are some times whereby if you try to complain on Twitter or some of the social media, you complain to some of the verified account, which is something I would like us to actually take note of. It's very important. Even me, I think I was the victim of it last month. I was very hungry on this very special day, and then I went to UBA Bank. I was trying to make a complaint. I made a withdrawal from the POS, but it declined. Normal Nigeria issue. Then I was like so anxious and desperate to leave the bank due to the queue was much. I now spoke to like the UBA Twitter page. I spoke to the verified one, the one with the gold, I think golden logo or something like that. So I spoke to them, but then due to the fact that I was desperate and all, I kind of went offline. And when I came back, another set of people replied me. They like retweet my tweet and then they replied me on that.
they even sent me a WhatsApp number to like message that it's much more faster and much more reliable. You know the official stuff now. They cloned the entire thing. I didn't take note of the fact that they were not having a verified badge, which I think you guys should please actually take note of to avoid this false start. So I kind of chatted them up. In fact, we had a long talk. I was even almost giving out my private credentials and all that. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think I was lucky enough. My details were not being compromised, because I think it took me a while. I think I slept off because they told me. I think I spoke to two different clients. I spoke to the original one and I spoke to the fake one. The original one told me that after 7 days they will refund my money. The fake one said in the next 4 hours. And come on now, we are Nigerians now. Somebody tell you that 4 hours that you should through WhatsApp. The other one said 7 days through Twitter. Automatically, I went for the one with the 7 days. You can imagine with the one with the 4 hours, thinking I was chatting with a live agent. Based on I was not sure with whether they were going to answer my customer request. I was, there are like thousands of requests on Twitter, and someone is chatting me up live on WhatsApp. It was later, after 4 hours, that I went on Twitter and I noticed that the verified UBA was telling me, "Oh, you are chatting with scam." That was when my eye cleared that these guys were actually cloned. They were not the real deal. So, like, please let's take note of that. Try to make sure you are able to differentiate, between the original and the fake. And even some of these Facebook links, for those of you that love Facebook so much, you should be able to differentiate them. Your Facebook link, if you notice something, there's the HTTPS request link. If you notice it, it's never the same thing. The that of Facebook is always facebook.com and https facebook.com, but those fake ones, they always have some funny way of doing it. If you don't take note, you won't even realize that they are not the same thing. So that's what phishing is all about, more like cloning and stuff. Then ransomware basically is when these cyber attackers, after installing the malware, then encrypt your own file, you and your computer. They deny you access of it. Imagine you owning your computer and then all you have to see is a Bitcoin wallet address telling you that you should pay money to get access to your system. And especially when you have important files on your system and you do not want to lose them. So imagine the kind of trauma that will be going in your head, knowing that you do not want to lose your files and then you do not want to pay these people the money they are asking for. So one of the best ways to avoid this is to make sure that your systems are always up to date. You do not click link unnecessarily, especially these people that used to send referral link up and down. Please and please, I beg, try to reduce it. Especially when you are sure that it's not from a verified source. Do not click link that will tell you that you should go and bring 10 people to be getting money that you're not even sure that is going to enter into your account. Sometimes all those links are part of ways of getting to your account. Yeah, it's true now. Sometimes it can be annoying, and I'm sure some of you agree with me. You just have to do it because maybe it's your guy or something. But I think these are ways by which people get into our system, and I want us to know this. Every single cyber attack that happen, they don't happen just like that. They happen because your system was not secured, and because one way or the other you were vulnerable. I'm telling you this. I think as of 2007 or 2010, the NSA, that's the National Security of America or something, they had this exploit toolkit that they created. All this thing that the people of United States always say that the government are monitoring you and stuff. They were not actually lying. I think there's what they call eternal blue double pulsar. You guys can check it online, or you can even read about it. It was actually real. The NSA were actually monitoring people with Windows 7 operating system at that moment, at that particular point in time. With the aid of that too, and by the grace of God, we will also practice it here. Hopefully, I will show you guys how they did it. It was very crazy. I mean, it's something that you wouldn't even thought about, and I've tried it not just on Windows 7. It has worked on Windows 7. It was created for Windows 7, oh, but I have used it on Windows 7, on Windows 8, and on Windows 10. So you can imagine the power of that particular exploit. And I think it was after it was exposed, they now released it and left it legal for you to practice with. And please, I want to throw it out there now, so that before we move advance into this thing, whatever we do here is just for us to learn. I think after today, whatever we start to practice is just for us to learn. Do not go out there, maybe because someone break your heart or because someone stole your girlfriend, you now go and hug the person. I am begging you, don't do that. It's not legal. It's not legal. If the person stole your boyfriend or stole your girlfriend, or you are trying to find out what your boyfriend is hiding, don't do it. Sometimes your ignorance is bliss. It's true now. Your ignorance is bliss. If you go and hack your boyfriend or you hack your girlfriend now to find out who they are chatting with, you end up crying, or you will not like what you will see. Sometimes just let it be, please. So I want to just let us know that whatever we do here is just for educational purpose. Don't go out there and go and be hacking people's children. I beg in the name of God, don't do it. So even me, I was actually tempted, to be honest. I was tempted once to actually, and I thank God that I think the only time I actually hacked somebody technically, it was before I collected my certification and something. Yeah, welcome Khadija and the rest too. So I think that was when I did it. And funny enough, I'm speaking from experience too. Like I think that was even before Facebook increased their security. Like I could recall what I did then. I think I was trying to get somebody's daughter. So I hacked my cousin's Facebook account. Then I used it to get hack access. I told her to, like, I was trying to, yeah, I wanted her to accept my friend request on Facebook. She refused. And then I was telling my cousin he should like connect me with this girl now. Him too, he refused. So I literally hacked him, and then I used his account to chat with the girl, and then after I chat with the girl, and then after I chat with the girl, then she was thinking she was chatting with my cousin brother, but she was actually chatting with me. She did not know. So me, I was like advertising myself. She was thinking it was my cousin brother based on she respected him so much. At the end of the day, she accepted my friend request based on she was thinking my cousin brother. Omo, that was danger, bro. Last, I still chop breakfast. It was the hottest breakfast ever chopped in this life. But anyway, you see, one way or the other, I still got my lesson. I was served a very hot one, so it was not nice, but so please, let's try to make sure that we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't go into that. So I think one other thing that I would like us to talk about is also the network port, which is network port is a communication endpoint using computer networking. It is identified by a numerical value called a port number, that port HTTP port 80, HTTPS 443 SSH. So now let's drop all this English one side. So basically, what this port 80, port 443, port 22. Normally, when you are going to Google or any other website, if you notice the link, you see that HTTPS. Those links, the one with the S, which stands for security, normally the HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So the HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Security, the S there stands for security, and then we have SSH, which is your secure shell. Basically, that's what your the SSH stand for, secure shell. We still have others like FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. It also has its own port numbers, and I am hoping that by the end of the day, and when we finish our workshop, you guys will be able to get familiar with all this. So now your HTTP port, basically, sometimes it's mostly within local server. You can use it within your local server and stuff. But when you are going online, please take note, when you are going online to a website and the website is not having that HTTPS, you are just seeing HTTP, my brother, my sister, just run, don't enter, because there is high chances that you are not secured. Honestly, it's things that we tend to overlook. I think sometimes if you look at your browser, you tend to see some kind of either triangle, danger, or it shows you a little bit exclamation mark. Sometimes when the exclamation mark is gray, it's telling you that okay, it's not too sure whether the website is secure or not. When you are seeing the exclamation mark to be red, okay. Khadija, do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to ask the
Yeah.
whole pot issue. Sometimes
Sorry, could you increase your voice?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm saying that sometimes when you still use the pots that has HTTPS, you still like find out that there's something fishy going on. Maybe because like all these links that people send,
Yeah.
sometimes when you read it, you be like, oh no. But then you find out that in the end it has HTTPS. I don't know. Please, can I have a clarification?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you tend to have some of these HTTPS. Now, some of them are not. There's what we call SSL certificate. Some HTTPS links that are verified have SSL certificate. So now, sometimes when these SSL certificates have not been officially installed or they are not recognized by your system, you understand, you tend to see that it shows danger, despite the fact that it's an HTTPS link. But when it have verified SSL certificate that is not malicious, it tends to, you just go freely sometimes. And sometimes the most annoying part, some of these ads that just pop up anyhow on your browser, you need to avoid them. Sometimes when it shows you that cancel or okay, allow, please, I will advise, if you can see the cancel icon at the top, that's the one with the X, just jejely click that one, because sometimes either way, whether you click the cancel or you click the allow, it will allow it. This some things that these guys, all these hackers tends to do. I don't want to use the same hackers, because one way or the other, if you're a cybersecurity practitioner, you are a hacker but a legal one. I'm just trying to find the right way to use it. So anyway, if they tend to use that kind of method, you tend to have it in such a way that, just imagine you writing a HTML code sharp sharp, and then you put allow, don't allow. If I click allow, you send the malicious software. If I click don't allow, still send the malicious software. Sure, you see that there's a problem. So I think sometimes the best thing to do is just to click that cancel icon, and you should just cancel it entirely than for you to be clicking any of those two links. So I don't know, Khadija, have I answered your question?
Yes, you have. You have.
All right, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then, so basically, HTTPS, which is the 443, is your is the one for the secured HTTP, which is the hypertext transfer protocol, just like I said previously. And then your SSH, which we are going to be looking at also. Most of these advanced company, or yeah, not even advanced, most tech companies say they use this SSH and this FTP for file transfer, or if you want to gain like all this kind of terminal access to a server or something. So, and I'm telling you, if you are a Linux user, or when you get familiar with Linux, you will enjoy using terminal than using the normal browser page. Honestly, it's much more interesting and much more nice, because you won't have to be stressing yourself so much like that. So like basically, I want you guys to understand this, that we'll be working with, the following softwares, and we'll be setting up our environment. I don't know, I think I will send in a YouTube link, so you guys to be able to like watch within your own time, from now to tomorrow. We have the virtual box, we have the Kali Linux. I purposely added the Ubuntu because of some of you that said you had Ubuntu, and then these Kyoptrix. So now these are the four things we'll work with for the time being. So basically, one of the reasons why I recommended Kali Linux was because it has every tool. It's like your best cybersecurity tool that you could ask for, except if you want to download the bigger versions, like all these Black Hat or operating system. I don't know if some of you know about that one. So, but for now, I think most users that I know that work in cybersecurity. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Khadija.
So, are you trying to say that if I have Kali Linux, I don't really need Ubuntu,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
I can have both? Because there are some videos that when you watch, you see that okay, people have both. Well, are you saying it's not really necessary since you have
You don't you
like
don't really you don't
both?
re- you don't really need Ubuntu if you have Kali Linux, because basically Kali Linux has, I think, the entire tools that you need. In fact, they recently created another version of Kali Linux. Basically, we have those that in cybersecurity, we have those we call the red team and the blue team. Okay, so now
Yeah.
the red team, all they do is, what they mostly do is attack. They are the one that normally try to hack into systems to find vulnerabilities and all that. Now the blue team, what they do is they tend to defend. They are more of securing, defending, finding. Okay, when the red team have done their job, they hand it over to the blue team. The blue team guys look for ways to secure those servers, to make sure that the servers are secured enough and all that. So now we have the purple team. The
Sorry,
purple team.
sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry,
go.
talking.
No, 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 no. It's fine.
So,
Go ahead.
how about the virtual box? So we can have both virtual box and Kali, fine, right? Or VMware, anyone.
Yeah.
Both.
The sorry, let me explain something. The virtual box is where you are able to run your operating system. You can have as much as you like. It now depends on your laptop space, on your hard disk space and how vast your space is. But you can the virtual box or the VMware, you can use any of the two. But the reason why I recommend virtual box is because it's open source. It's free to download. For the VMware, you have to. I think you only have like 30 days trial or so. Then after that you'll have to like pay for your subscription and all that. So basically that's why I recommend the virtual box, so we won't have to worry about paying. But the
All
Ubuntu,
right, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So the Ubuntu, for those that want to maybe like use Linux as an operating system, maybe you don't like Windows, you just want to use Linux, well, Ubuntu is your go-to. It will serve you well. It's quite nice and okay. But as for me and my household, we are going for Kali Linux. So, and then we'll be using the Kyoptrix level 1 vulnerable server. So we will testing our exploit, and we'll try to majorly our goal is, sorry Yusuf, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So will there be like setup for those using Ubuntu, or we
uh,
are going to use same setup as those using Kali Linux?
No, I think the setup are quite different. So I will send you guys a list of YouTube link. So you will pick whichever one is your choice. But I will recommend that to save yourself from downloading, because Ubuntu does not have most of the software that Kali has. So to save yourself from downloading some of them, you can just download the Kali. But if you feel like you want to download the two just to get familiarized and understand them, well, you can go ahead. That's actually nice as well. So that's that for
All
that.
right, sorry, like for those that okay, are actually using, let's say, Ubuntu now as their primary operating system, so will they need to like download a virtual box, or how are they going to go about it?
Okay, if you are using Ubuntu already, I don't think you really need to. Just check. I think if you have things like information gathering tools and there's what we call vulnerability analysis tools and all that. Just check. I think there are lots of categories, and then things like Wireshark and Metasploit. Check if that is present on your system. Nmap and Zenmap, if they are present. If they are present, you don't have to worry. Ibrahim, please go ahead.
Okay, please, my question
Yeah.
is I want to change my primary operating system to Kali Linux. Do you
Okay.
suggest I install it on a virtual box or I do a dual installation, please?
Okay, I would suggest you do a virtual box installation, because I think even most of these professional, that's the best and most recommended way of doing it, and it's much more mobile. You get, so it is much more advisable to do the virtual box. Sorry, Ibrahim, could you turn off your mic?
Oh, sorry.
So it is much more recommended that you do the virtual box installation. But if you feel like you want the dual installation, and sorry, one more thing, one of the reasons why I suggest the virtual box installation is this: there are moments whereby you want to use your Windows and you also want to use your Kali. You can do that with virtual box. You are running the two at once. But with dual installation, you can only run one at a time. Do you get the gist?
Yes, yes, I
Uh-huh.
get.
Good, good. Khadija, do you have a question? Okay, I think maybe her mic is mute or something.
Sorry, the network is kind of bad. No.
Okay, all right. So now coming to the Kyoptrix level 1, it's a vulnerable server that we are going to be, carrying out our exploitations on. We will learn how to how to enumerate enumeration and reconnaissance. We will learn all that. We will practice how, the very step 1, which is reconnaissance or enumeration, which is trying to understand your enemy or whatever it is you want to attack. That moment whereby they will tell you to gather informations on your rival, or you are trying to get somebody and then you are gathering information on them, you are stalking them and all that. So basically we'll carry out all that. We'll try to understand how the server works, things about the server, the properties, the or every single information that is needed. You try to understand it before we carry out whatever it is we want to carry out, and we try to know through which port or through which way can we exploit it. So basically, that for that. And if you have any question, please shoot them.
Please, can we have the slide? This slide, the one you just read.
Okay, all right. I'll try to make the slide available probably tomorrow, so that I will send it as early as possible tomorrow morning.